Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Visit. I hope you're all fine, and I hope you're all having fun. So, it's a very interesting week. It's a blank game week, and we have an entire hour to answer your questions and talk to you about your problems because I've already made my transfers, guys. So no last-minute panic moves for me this time around. So I hope this session is going to be a good one. So I welcome everybody: Buckshot, Peter, Nayak, Lee, Sanjay, Jackson, Nehal, Todd. I saw your hellos at the start of the stream, so thank you so much for being here. So guys, you can see my transfers on the screen. I've taken out Salah and I've taken out Barnes, and I've taken, it's a bit of a punt, to be honest with you. I've brought in Gareth Bale and I've brought in Aubameyang. So, because this is, for me, it is just a transfer for 1 week, and I've taken a hit as well. I've taken a -4 hit. So basically what I did was, I took a punt on Aubameyang and Bale because I thought they have a very high ceiling. And this game week, there are not too many players who have a very high ceiling, right? So this is my team for the game week, guys, and I just hope Johnston plays, and that's all I hope for. So I'm going into the game week with 9 players, and I know it's not the best, but what can you do? I mean, Son got injured, and I had a good plan for the game week, but sometimes you cannot control all the parameters. Son got injured, so I've just got 9 players with a hit. Next week I'm just gonna use my wild card, and I'm gonna have a totally new team. So this is about my team, guys. I mean, it's a Captain Kane. I did not see too many other opportunities to captain. Possibly if I wanted to go for a differential, I would look at somebody like a Trossard, but I just did not feel up for captaining any differentials and such. I think the ceiling of this game week is not going to be too high. So I don't think that you're gonna lose too much or you're gonna gain too much in this game week, unless one team totally goes ballistic, which I don't see happening. So this is about my team, and I took a -4. I took out Salah and Harvey Barnes, and I brought in Aubameyang and Gareth Bale. So, and I think Gareth Bale's gonna start because he did not start in the Europa League. He came in late for Lamela, and with Son out, I think Gareth Bale has a good chance of starting. So this is about my team, my friends, and now I am gonna come to the chat and I'm gonna answer your questions. So Geeta says, is it worth to take a -4 to take out Hector Bellerin and bring in Lewis Dunk? I don't know. Why would you take out Hector Bellerin, bro? I mean, Bellerin is playing, right? He's got a fixture, and I think he's got a decent fixture. And I'd say you should take a chance on Bellerin. He played in the Europa League and he had a good game. I mean, a hit. I wouldn't do it for a hit, basically. Faz says, I've got 2 free transfers: Son to Bale, Rashford to Rafinha, Gundogan to Lingard. I like those transfers. I like all of them, actually. Sid says, hey Viz, how are you? Your captain locked in? I'm fine, Sid, and I hope the same for you. And my captain is locked in. My captain is going to be Harry Kane. Although, guys, there's a bit of a concern because, Harry Kane, he played 120 minutes in the Europa League. But I still feel that he's going to start because I think Mourinho is under pressure. I mean, if Son has a little bit of a chance of starting, I think he's even going to risk Son, but I don't think Son is going to start. But I think Harry Kane has no risk of being rotated or anything like that. Asset says, hey Viz, how are you? I'm fine, my friend. I hope the same for you. Noel says, James Ward-Prowse to Rafinha or Lookman? I mean, I like the look of... obviously, I like Rafinha more than Lookman. I think he has more avenues to score FPL points. Like Rafinha takes set pieces, corners, sometimes free kicks, and in generally looks like a more explosive player to me. I like the look of Rafinha more than Lookman. Josie says, is Son still likely to play? I'm not sure. I mean, it's basically with Mourinho. I think if it wasn't for the international break after this game, he might have risked Son. But now, with the international break coming, and Mourinho wouldn't want to send Son off to, like all halfway across the world to play an international game. So I think he might not risk him. I just think that, he would want to save Son for the end of the season, I guess. Noel says DCL to Bamford. Yeah, like, I think that's fine. You know, a non-playing player for a playing player, and I think Bamford is gonna play, so I don't see any risk with that. Would you take out Son? Johan, I think it's a tough one, because you cannot tell with Mourinho's mind games. But I'm fairly sure that Son is not gonna play. But still, I mean, if I had the possibility, I wouldn't. I'd just keep him in my team just in case, just in case. Because we can never be sure with Jose. You remember what happened the last time, when he said Son is not going to play, and then he scored 16 or I think 18 points in that game week. It was something crazy like that. I think it was against United, but can't be sure. Jackson says, do you suggest Salah out? If yes, then whom to get? Don't have a wild card. Yeah, this is a tough one, my friend. I mean, if you see the transfers that I made, I'm in their bold transfers. I took out Bruno Fernandes a couple of weeks back. I took out Salah and Harvey Barnes now. But the thing is, I've got my wild card. I'm going to activate it in Game Week 30 and I'm going to fix all my problems, and I'm going to bring those players back. So I didn't have these problems, especially if you don't have your wild card. You have to tread more carefully as compared to what I'm doing in this game week. He says I've got 2 free transfers. I mean, I honestly think there's not a problem with selling Salah. He hasn't been in the best of form. It depends who you are gonna get, because if you get somebody like Aubameyang, it's I don't think that's too desirable, to be honest with you, because Auba hasn't also been in the best of form. I'm just taking a 1 week punt. That's different with me. Foden to Bale, DCL to Antonio. Yeah, I like that. SH. I think DCL to Antonio is fine. I mean, Foden to Bale, yeah, I think you can do it, because Foden is not nailed on in the City team anyway, and with Son injured, I think Bale is gonna be more advanced. He might even get more chances, and that is the reason I brought in Bale as well. Anas says Mope, Trossard, or Pascal Gross. If I had the option, I'd possibly bring in Trossard. I'm really like the look of how he plays his football. Unfortunately, he lacks end product, but for 1 week, I think that Trossard can be good. Geeta says, agree with you, but don't you think Cedric will play instead of Bellerin, as Arteta brought back Bellerin early in the Europa League as well? Bellerin not playing Premier League. Yeah, that is true, my friend, and it is possible that maybe Cedric is gonna play in the Premier League. So it's a bit touch and go, because Bellerin is the first choice right back and he wasn't fully fit, which is why Cedric was playing. But since Cedric has been playing so well, I'm not sure if Arteta would kind of drop him in the Premier League. So I mean, I wouldn't, let's say that I wouldn't be against Dunk for Bellerin if it wasn't for a -4. With a -4, I just feel a little bit 50-50 with this call. Sanshiro says, should I take out DCL for Kane for a -4? I think so, yes. I think so. It is worth it. Because I think Kane is the best captaincy option in this game week, without a doubt. Buckshot says, Wiz, Bruno to Aubameyang -8. Like, this is a bit tough one. George, do you have your wildcard, and when do you plan to use your wildcard? This decision actually depends a lot on how much value do you have associated with Bruno Fernandes. Do you have your wildcard, and when do you plan to use your wildcard? Because I don't think we can keep Bruno out of our teams for a very long time. Sid says, I want to sell Salah. Whom should I bring in? Trossard, Oba, Lingard. We'll have 8 players. Is it worth to take hits to have more playing players on a red arrow? Sid, the thing is, like, when you have a non-playing player, he's going to give you 0 points. So if you take a -4 hit, it essentially counts for, just for 2 points, because when you bring in a player, at least he's going to play and he's going to give you 2 points. So your hit is essentially worth 2 points, But the thing is, if you're planning to wildcard soon, then you are expecting the players which you take a hit for to return in this very game week, and that is not very practical in my opinion. So 1 hit is enough, not more in my opinion. I think -8, -12 is a bit much in my opinion. Jose says, should I bring in Dunk and Dallas for Reece James and AWB and have 10 playing players? Yeah, Duncan Dallas are good players, but in place of Reece James and AWB, the thing again, you're asking me these questions, guys. Remember, I made these transfers. I took out Salah for Aubameyang, but I have my wild card, and I'm going to use it in game week 30, and I'm possibly going to bring back Bruno Fernandes, Salah, and all these players. So if you don't have your wild card, I would just suggest you to tread more carefully. Hashtag says Ariola or Martinez. Oh, this is a tough one. To be honest with you, my friend, I mean, I don't expect either of them to keep a clean sheet. I mean, Ariola can possibly, Martinez against Spurs who are not in the best of form. It's a really tough one, my friend. It's a really tough one. To be honest with you, if you are on a good rank, right, and you want to protect your rank, I'd suggest you play Martinez. And if you are not on a good rank and you want to try and go for a bit of a differential, I'd suggest you go with Ariola. This is how you make decisions here, because there's nothing between them, and the fixtures are a little bit crazy to kind of decide based on logic there. Baksha says no chips left. Then it's a bit tough for me to suggest you to go for Oba for Bruno for a -8. It's a bit much in my opinion, George. Although Oba does have good fixtures, but he doesn't look in the best scoring form in my opinion. I'm going to captain Lingardinho. FPL Jug. I mean, I was so close to bringing in Lingard. I just have a feeling that he's gonna score against Arsenal, and then he's gonna do his dance floor moves. But the thing is, I mean, I just didn't go for a Lingard because I already had Antonio, I had Sofal, and I did not want to put too many eggs in just the Arsenal and the West Ham game. So I just wanted to kind of spread it around a bit. But I like what you say there. Sanchiro says, thank you for answering this. You're welcome, my friend. It took me 29 game weeks to buy Kane. My friend, that is a bit much in my opinion. Kane has been in amazing form, and but it's better late than never. I'm happy you got him in the end. Shopman says, do you think Burn will start? I mean, it's a bit touch and go with Burn. There have been some rumors that Dan Burn can be back, but you can't say for sure, Shopman. I can't say for sure. Geeta says Jack Grealish in for Villa against Spurs. If yes, still Kane as a captain. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if Grealish is going to play. I know he's been back in training or doing some, light training, but I'm not sure if he's going to start against Spurs. I'm not even sure if he's going to risk starting him against Spurs. So, if you don't have Jack Grealish, I don't suggest you bring him in now. And even if I had Jack Grealish, yes, I would still have Kane as a captain. Raghav says, hi, with Son or Lingard. I honestly feel if you have to bring in Son or Lingard, I'd say Lingard, because I don't think Son is going to play. But if you have Son and you're thinking of swapping him with Lingard, that's a different story. Jose says, according to you, how many players are needed to get a rank rise or stay at the same rank? Jose, to be honest with you, it is not about how many players. You could have like 11 players and you could still have a red arrow. It doesn't depend on the number of players. It depends on the quality of the players which you have, right? And with regards to the players which can help you keep your rank this game week, I think Kane is a very important one. Bamford, Antonio is another one. Soucek, Martinez. These players who are very heavily owned are the ones which can help you maintain your rank, because most of the people that have, for example, I'm suffering a bit on the Martinez front because I don't have him. Hashtag says, thanks bro, it's a tough one. I might toss a coin between the two, because there is nothing to choose between them, my friend. And Ariola, Fulham have been good at Craven Cottage. They have been really, really good at Craven Cottage. And it's tough to say which leads are gonna appear. There's a Leeds team which doesn't score against Newcastle, doesn't score against Brighton, and there is another Leeds team which can score against the best teams in the league. So we don't know which Leeds team, turns up tonight. That's a tough one. Leeds are a bit of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Sid says, thanks, was leaning to bring in Lingard for Salah, keeping Son, hoping he will be back to the best against Newcastle. Yeah, that's a fair shout. Lowton for Anderson. I think bringing in Lingard should be enough. I'm not sure about Anderson, my friend. I think bringing in Lingard should be fine, in my opinion, said. Shivam says, last week KDB captain, you said. 105 points. Amazing, Wiz. Wow, Shivam, well done, my friend. That is amazing, and congratulations. And I hope you get a similar score this game week. I wish I had such an amazing score. But well done to you. Well done to you. FPL Sam says, hey Sumesh, welcome, bro. Dan says Kane, captain, or possibly Rafinha. I mean, to be honest with you, Dan, I think this game week is the one in which you should stick with Kane, because differential, I mean, I think it's a very obvious captaincy option this game week, and many people are going to captain Kane. In case he bangs and Rafinha doesn't, you'll be in a bit of a bother, right? Because there are not many big hitters playing this game week. So if I was you, I would find some other game week to captain a differential, because Fulham don't concede too many at Craven Cottage, and that's a fact. Shopman says Laka or Antonio for DCL. I mean, Shopman, that's a tough one, because I mean Laka's been in good form, right? Is he going to start though? I'm not sure, because last game week he started because Arteta was punishing Aubameyang for coming late to training or something, some funny stupid story of that sort. But is he going to start this game week? I'm not sure, honestly. Not sure. If I was you, I would possibly, if I had to play safe, I'd go with Antonio. Shivam says my team: Sanchez, Cresswell, Target, Dallas, Bale, Soucek, Bamford, Kane, Watkins. Captain tips. Again, I'd say Kane is the safe captaincy option, and I don't see many options other than Kane in your team as well, my friend. Sudeep says I have 8 players for this game week. Should I take a hit to replace DCL or Mount or Stones? I think yes, you can take one hit, but it depends on which player are you taking a hit for. For example, if you ask me, whether you should take a hit for Veltman or somebody of that sort, I mean, that's a bit touch and go. But if you ask me, you take a hit for Kane, I'd say definitely yes. So it also depends on which player you are taking a hit for, Nick Taman says, Wiz, my man, long time no talk. Easy one for you, starting Martinez or Areola. I did talk about it earlier as well, Nick. This is a bit tough one. It depends on, again, which rank you're on. If you're on a good rank, like for example, you're in the top 50k, 10k, I'd say you go with Martinez. And if you are like a little bit, if you're doing some rank chasing, I think then starting Areola makes more sense. There is no logical conclusion to be drawn by the fact that which keeper is better, because Fulham are playing against Leeds, which are so unpredictable. And they can score against anybody, and they cannot score against Newcastle and Brighton. So it's a bit touch and go, my friend. 94k is a decent rank. If I was on 94k, I would possibly, I mean, if you want to try and push up the ranks, you can go with Areola, right? But if I was you, I'd possibly go with Martinez. But do I expect both of them to concede? I think so. I think Tottenham are going to score, and maybe Leeds are going to score as well. I see, less chance of a clean sheet for both of them. Geeta says, no goalkeeper for you. I got Johnston, my friend, and I just hope he plays. Yeah, at this game week I have 9 players, and I'm just hoping that they bang, my friend. Son injury does not help my plans. Shivam says my bench is Martinez, Gundogan, KDB, Bruno, Jones. I mean, that's a fantastic bench, but don't you think there's one too many players over there, my friend? I mean, you should have 4 players on your bench. That seems like a bit much. My mains are not having a week. That's fine. Raja says, hi Wiz, who should I bring in, Dunk or Target? I'd suggest you to go with Dunk, my friend. The thing is, Target has a difficult game as compared to Dunk. Brighton versus Newcastle, I expect Brighton that they can keep a clean sheet, Tony says, who would you rather get, Trossard or Bale? Money isn't an issue. The thing is, Tony, it all depends upon what you're looking for, right? It depends on what you're looking for. That, are you rank chasing? Are you kind of trying to go safe? What's your overall rank and all that? If I was you, I mean, I had the same option, right? And you can see I went with Bale. Sid says, why did you hold Son? I just held him for for an off chance that Mourinho, to save his job, he starts Son. But on the other hand, if I don't want to wildcard in game week 30, In game week 30, Son has a game against Newcastle. So that is also at the back of my mind that Son's going to be back. And if I don't wildcard, I want to have like Bale, Kane, and Son against Newcastle in game week 30. So that's the reason I kind of have. Deep says I have Lloris, Konsa, Holding, Dallas, Rafinha, Bale, Barclay, Kane, and Bamford. My next hits should be whom for DCL, Stones, and Mount. I mean, you've got Kane and Bamford. In the strikers, you can go with Antonio, right? You can go with Watkins as well. I prefer Antonio, to be honest with you. In midfield, you're stacked like pretty good. Rafinha, Bale, Barclay. And if I had to take a punt, I would suggest you can go with somebody like Trossard. And in defense, I'd say if you can, you should go for somebody like Dunk. But again, it all depends upon how many players you want. I'm happy taking a hit and having 9 players. Somebody might want more than 9. So, this is going to be a tough game week to navigate, guys. It all depends upon what the big hitters do in this game week, honestly. Smelly Web says, smash that like button, guys, and I would listen to him. FPL Duck says, please give a like to the stream. Thank you so much for the shout out, guys. Shivam says, Salah was a waste this season. He never gave me points. Should I bring in Jota? Shivam, there's one thing that you should know. Salah is still the highest goal scorer in the Premier League, and I mean, although it doesn't seem like that, but it is. He is the highest goal scorer at the moment. Should I bring in Jota? I mean, yes, I think we can look at Jota irrespective of whether you own Salah or not. I think it's going to be an interesting one. Wildcard 31 or 50k. Also, I can get both if I ignore Dallas. I mean, that depends on that depends on whether if you want a wildcard in 31, I'd suggest you to go with somebody like Bale, because he has Newcastle in game week 30, and you want to have Bale for that fixture if you're not wildcarding in 30. Then that's my opinion. That rank is pretty decent, my friend. Just keep pushing. Nishchil says I need to make 3 transfers: Bale, Kane, and Auba, or Dunk, Lingard, and Kane. The thing is, the transfers that I see, Nishchil, there are like 3 big hitters: Kane, Aubameyang, and Bale. Or I see like 3 a little bit more kind of. I won't call them differentials, to be honest with you, but I see a little bit more safety kind of a player. Like Dunk is going to play 90 minutes, and Lingard is going to start against Arsenal, definitely. It depends on your rank and how much risk you're willing to take. I mean, if you want to kind of have the heavy hitters, I'd say Bale, Kane, and Aubameyang, but looking at Dunk and Lingard, I think they can easily match Aubameyang and Bale in this game week. They can. That's what I think. I really want to have Dunk in my team or a Brighton defender, but I just did not feel like taking 2 hits. Aditya says have Martinez, Konsa, Dallas, Bale, Lookman, Rafinha, Bamford, Watkins, and Kane, and 1 free transfer. Do I get in another defender for Luton or Westergaard, or Auba for Salah? I honestly feel Auba for Salah is a luxury move. I don't think Aubameyang has that high of a ceiling against West Ham United. West Ham is a really, really good defensive team, right? So I'd say you can go for a defender, especially if you don't have a wildcard and you want to kind of keep Salah for the upcoming game weeks. You can go for a defender, and I think that'll be justified still. Nehal says, hey Wiz, what do you think about differential captains this week? Nehal, yeah, that is a possibility. The problem with differential captaining this game week is that everybody's going to be captaining kind of Kane, because they don't see many options. I don't see many options, and in case he bangs and your differential captain doesn't, I mean, it'll lead to a big heavy red arrow, and that's the problem. I think going for a differential captain is better in a week where the captaincy is more divided. Just like last week it was divided, right? Last week was the one where we should have gone for a differential. This week I'd say it's a bit tough in my opinion. Shivam says Cresswell differential, I think over optimistic, or might be Bale. I mean, there are differentials, but I still think Cresswell is pretty heavily owned, Shivam. But I have to check though, to be honest with you. Let me check. I have no idea how owned Cresswell is, but I think he's the highest scoring defender in the game, and he has to be high. He's like 30% owned. He's not a differential anymore. I mean, Not in my book, anyways. This is very heavily owned. Is Cresswell. Anyways, Sid says from Game Week 30 onwards, how do you rate bringing in Kai Havertz? That's a very good shout, Sid, and I am very interested in bringing in a Chelsea attacker, and I have my eyes on Kai Havertz, definitely do. And that's a really good shout, my friend. FPL Jug says, what is the best time to use the wildcard? Jug, to be honest with you, the best time is when you feel your team, like when you build a wildcard draft, and the team which you own and the team which you make on wildcard are very different to one another. I think that's the time when you have to use your wildcard. Vab says, Wiz, thanks for the advice to play Cresswell over Dallas on the last stream. I got all the points. That's fantastic, my friend. I'm so happy for you. Lewis says, Watkins for Bamford and Lingard for Barnes. I mean, I'd say just keep Bamford. You can just bring in Lingard for Barnes. Why would you want to sell Bamford? I think Bamford is going to play against Fulham, bro. So if I was you, I'd keep Bamford and I would just do Lingard for Barnes. Aditya says, I have wildcard. Also, who to get rid of, Lowton or Westergaard? I mean, if I was you, I'd possibly get rid of, let me see the fixtures. To be honest with you, I have no idea about the Burnley fixtures. They've got Southampton, Newcastle, United, Wolves, West Ham, Fulham. I mean, they don't have the worst of fixtures. Now, about Southampton, I need to check. Yeah, Southampton do have good fixtures, but they have a blank in 33 as well. I'd suggest you sell Lowton. I think Southampton have a bit better fixtures as compared to Burnley, in my opinion. Mark says, hi, wondering what you think of Fabianski and Cresswell for Johnston and Cancelo. I mean, do you really want to bring in two defensive players from the same team? I would say, you should kind of divide the risk a bit. Because I don't see West Ham keeping a clean sheet against Arsenal. That might be the Arsenal fan in me speaking, but I honestly think that Arsenal are going to score against West Ham. Maybe they'll score just one, but they will. So I'd say divide the risk and bring in Cresswell, and you can bring in somebody like Martinez or Areola to kind of divide the risk. Giant says, what do you think about Trossard as a captaincy option? I think if you want to go for a differential, Trossard isn't a bad shout. I think against a battered Newcastle team, we're looking like really in the relegation fight with Fulham. I think Trossard can be a decent option. Lingard or Trossard? Sid, this is a very tough one. I mean, my heart says Lingard because I think Lingard has a really good record against Arsenal and he's been playing really well since he's joined West Ham. Trossard, we all know he's a bit hit and miss. He lacks end product. So out of those two, I prefer Lingard. But it also depends on if you have Antonio, if you already own Soucek, then I would go for Trossard. If you don't have any other West Ham players, then Lingard. Shivam says, I have triple captain left. Best time to play it. Shivam, I think there's going to be one more double game week down the line, and that could be the best time to play it now. Success says, hey man, hey Success. What's up, my friend? Lookman, Bale, Aubameyang, or Lingard. Pick two. I mean, it depends on your team success. If you can tell me your team, I'd be better placed to help you. If you don't have any other players from West Ham like Antonio, I'd say Lingard and Bale or Lookman. Nehal says, I have around 12 changes to be made on Wildcard 31. Well, Nehal, that tells you that it's high time that you use your wildcard, bro. That's exactly what a wildcard is for, right? When you need to make wholesale changes. Tony says, and last question, if you bring in one in this game week, would you pick Dallas or Trossard? I mean, it depends on whether you're bringing them in just for this game week or are you bringing them in for the long term. Let me see the fixtures of Leeds. You see, Leeds have got Fulham and they've got Sheffield United. So if you bring in Dallas, you're essentially primed to bring in, like, you're having him for this fixture and you're having him for Sheffield United. And I think, having Leeds players, I think in general is more desirable than having Brighton players, especially if you don't have your wildcard. Ajay says, hey mate, hey Ajay, welcome my friend. So how are your transfers looking, my friend? Shivam says, success, pollen, if you can figure the joint. Yeah, that's true. Ajay says, Lookman or Maja, I am on a free hit. Oh, that's fantastic, my friend. That's a good week to free hit. I mean, I think, if you can tell me your team, Ajay, I think I'd be better placed to help you. But I think Maja looks a more differential, more explosive, and better option. I think in midfield you can stack him up. You have a lot of options anyway in midfield. Like you can get Lingard, you can get Rafinha, and Gareth Bale, Aubameyang. I think Macha looks like a more interesting option to me. You know, Mark says, is there any goalkeeper you would prefer to bring in instead of Johnston long term? Yeah, I'd say I've been looking at Edouard Mendy for my wild card. I think Chelsea have been, defensively been really, really solid, and honestly on my wild card I'm thinking to get Edouard Mendy, and that's who I would look at. If I would look at anybody else, I think it would be Martinez, of course, because he's so heavily owned. But currently, I've got my eyes on Edouard Mendy. Nehal says Emmy, Target, Tosin, Son, Lings, Rafinha, Kane, Bamford, Antonio have 9 players including Son. Would you take a hit, bring in Cresswell? Nehal, the thing is, like, again, the strategy, it depends on what your strategy is. Because I mean, you don't have any you've got Antonio and Lingard. I mean, 3 West Ham players wouldn't be a bit too much for a hit as well. I mean, it depends on whether you are like free hitting after but you're free hitting in 31, right? So I'd say you should bring in somebody like Dallas because he's got a good fixture in 30. I think you should bring in a Leeds player. I think Leeds have a good fixture against Sheffield in 30. That would be, in my opinion, more desirable. But it all depends upon your strategy as well, my friend. Shopman says Martinez, Burn, Dallas, Cresswell, Son, Rafinha, Antonio, Bamford, Kane. Should I take a -4 to bring in Trossard for Gundogan? You've got Antonio, you've got Bamford, you've got Kane, Son, Rafinha, Cresswell. I think that midfield is like, you've just got a one playing midfielder. It's a bit less in my opinion. Trossard or Lingard, it's a touch and go for me, but I think you should take a -4 in my opinion. Just give you a little bit of a safety net. Usman says, have you used a chip? No, I haven't used a chip, my friend. I'm just doing with whatever I had in my team. I've been planning for this blank game week since eternity, and Son gets injured. That's not a good thing to happen. Shivam says, will Son play? I'm not sure about Son playing. I just have him in my team because if he doesn't play now, he still has a fixture against Newcastle in 30. Just in case I don't want to, use my wildcard in 30 and I want to use it in 31. So Son has a fixture against Newcastle, and that's desirable in my opinion. That's the reason I kept him. Success says Gundogan, Rafinha, Son, Salah, and Barnes in midfield. Kane, Adams, and Antonio as a forward. So which 2 transfers? I mean, basically, if you want to take a bit of a punt, you can, because you don't have, you've got Rafinha. You can go with Adams to Bamford. You can also go for like Salah to Bale or Salah to Aubameyang, or you can go for like Barnes to Lingard as well. That you've got like different options. Sid says, thank you, my friend. Have White and Antonio. Could you suggest now Lingard or Trossard for Salah? I mean, Sid, do you have Antonio? Yeah, you've got Antonio, right? So I'd say, I mean, you can go with Trossard if you want to kind of divide the risk a bit. Because if you load up on West Ham United, you're essentially putting all your eggs in one basket, which is not a bad thing. If West Ham win, that is not a bad thing. But if you want to divide the risk a bit, then Trossard. If I was you, I would go with Lingard though. Just saying, if I was you, I'm here to give a neutral advice and the one which is best. But if I was you, I would go with Lingard. Nehal says, thanks, Wiz. Cheers, my friend, and I wish you all the best. Ajay says my free hit team is Sanchez, Dunk. Guys, by the way, Ajay is doing really well this season. He's in the top 1k, and this is his free hit team, so you should all pay attention, especially those of you who are on a free hit. So his team is Sanchez, that's a Brighton keeper. Dunk, Tierney, so he's got a double Brighton defense. He's got Tierney, Dallas, Aubameyang, Bale, Trossard, Lingard, Rafinha, Kane, Maja. If there's any suggestions, I don't see problem with that team actually. So you from Fulham, you don't have anybody, right? You've got Majo. You've got Majo. Yes, that's there. I like that team, my friend. To be honest with you, I've not thought much about a free hit team because I don't have my free hit. So in my mind, I haven't made up a free hit team that I generally do. But that looks decent to me. I mean, maybe a Tottenham defender, but not the most important. Also, you could take out Aubameyang and maybe you could get in somebody like Emil Smith-Rowe from Arsenal and you could divide the funds. But I don't see many players which you can spend your money on. So I'd say that looks fine to me, my friend. I'll think a little bit more, at the back of my mind. If I find any changes, I'll let you know. But by the way, there's like a couple of other managers they playing free hit this game week. So you should definitely go out on Twitter and check them out. Just in case they have some good, like some good team that you can kind of have a look at. Opposite Lock says, hi Wiz, who to take out for Cresswell, Diaz versus Cancelo. If I was you, I'd possibly take out Cancelo, my friend, because I think Cancelo is a bit touched. He's in and out of the team. He's more of a rotation risk. Diaz, I think, is nailed on in the City team. And if I was you, I'd possibly, just like if I had Stones and Diaz, I would sell Stones. If I had Diaz and Cancelo, I would sell Cancelo, in my opinion. G Rid says Gundogan, Cancelo, Son to Rafinha, Dunk, Bale, -4. Yeah, I like that. I like that, my friend. I like all those moves. With Son, I'm a bit scared to call it, but yeah, I like those moves. Shopman says, do you have any stats on Newcastle versus Brighton? Shopman, what kind of stats are you looking at? If you can tell me, I'll find the stats for you. Shivam says, thank you so much, Wiz, for taking my questions. You are the best. Hope this channel grows and grows beyond infinity. Thank you so much for your great wishes, my friend, and just keep coming back, my friend. This channel, this community is with the people which come here and who come here, ask questions, talk to me during these streams. The community is you guys, and you guys make this community better and special. So thank you so much. Aditya says, have a wildcard but not sure will play it in game week 31 or later. Sofal, Dawson, or a Brighton defender. I'd say a Brighton defender. If I had the option, I'd say a Brighton defender. Achetan says, will Bamford start Saka? I think Bamford is going to start. With Saka, it's a bit touch and go. Honestly, I feel, because Arteta said he has a late fitness test, so there is no reliable way of knowing whether Saka starts or not. If you ask me for my opinion, I'd say, possibly Saka starts, but, from Arteta's press conference, he said he has a late fitness test. Success says, thanks, Wiz, you're welcome, bro. Sid says, thanks, you're welcome, my friend. FPL Jack says, I've made my transfers, Lingardinho and Bale for Salah and Son. Good luck to you, Jug. I hope you have a great week, bro. Mitrovic brace in return fixture might make Maja pick risky. I still think that Mitrovic has lost his place in the team, I don't know why Scott Parker would put him in the team. All he gets is like those substitute appearances from the bench. So in my opinion, I think Maja is ahead of the pecking order of Mitrovic. Anas says, is Son Bale a good option with Son out? I don't understand, but yeah, Bale is a good option with Son out, I can say that. Bob FPL says, -4 or -8 if I have 7 players playing. I'd say -4 would look good. 8 good players can give you a decent game week, You just need to have the heavy hitters, the ones which you feel that, nailing your captaincy in this game week has never been more important, because if you nail your captaincy, I'd say you will not see a big red arrow even if you have 8 players. Just think about it that way. So get the heavy hitters, even if there are 8, they have to be the best. That is more important than having 11 players, I'd say. Opposite Lock says, cheers, Wiz. Thanks for your awesome advice. Also, are you feeling brave for a differential captain? You're welcome, by the way. And this game week, I am actually not feeling too brave for a differential captain. I want to, keep it relatively simple with Sir Harold of Kane. I'm an Arsenal fan. I should not be calling him that. But just for this game week, I hope he bangs. I hope he scores a hat trick, and then Watkins scores a hat trick too, and Tottenham lose for all I care. By the way, Sir Harold of Kane. Achetan says, "Thanks, bro. You're welcome. You're welcome, my friend." The lovely lad says, "Gundogan to Lookman for a -4." Yes, I'd say if you have 7 players, I'm not against that move. I think that's a good move to make, lad. So yeah. FPL Jug says, "I'm going it with 9 players with no hits taken." I mean, FPL Jug, that's good. You know, if you take 1 hit, I wouldn't be against that. But I think that's absolutely fine. You know, whatever strategy you're using, it's fine. If I was you, I'd possibly take 1 hit and make them 10. But, you know, we are always wanting more. This life is all about wanting more. If we can control our wishes and our, you know, what can you call that? For the lack of better words, you know, we'll be better people. Sagar says, "Which 2 to pick from Bale, Lingard, Cresswell for the next 2 game weeks?" Bale and Lingard. Who does West Ham play next? I don't have any idea. Why don't I have any idea? They play Wolves away. I mean, it's not the easiest of games. I'd prefer to have Leeds players and Tottenham players for the next game week. Tottenham plays against Newcastle and Leeds play against Sheffield United. So for the next game week and this game week, I prefer to have Tottenham and Leeds players. West Ham, it's a bit touch and go for me, bro. Neil says, 12 minutes to the deadline. Everyone check your teams. And I'd listen to him, guys. I don't want you to miss your deadlines. So everybody, fix your teams. And, you know, I'm going to be here. You can come back, talk to me. But at least just go to your teams. Check everything is fine. Your captaincy, especially your bench. This game week, your bench is very important. Don't forget to check your bench. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Refusion says, "Hello, I've got my wildcard and bench boost. 2 free transfers. What would you suggest?" Refusion, I'd like to see your team before I can make a statement. I've also got triple captain. So you've got wildcard, bench boost, and triple captain. That's fantastic. I hope they pay you well. But if you can tell me your team, I can give you better advice. Neil says 16 minutes actually. So still we've got some time left, guys, and no issues about that. But I suggest you to kind of check your teams and fix them up. Success says Aubameyang or Bale. This is again a tough one. The thing is, why I went for Aubameyang and Bale is because I wasn't able to decide which one to go for. If I had to select one, if you have Harry Kane and if you are captaining Kane, I'd say, you know, you should. Again, Success, it depends on your team, your rank, and what you're expecting from this game week. If you're like me, you're like kind of expecting a meek and a timid game week, and you just want to kind of stay within the touching distance of the, you know, 100k or something like that, I'd say, you know, you should go safe and play Aubameyang. You know, if you want to attack the game week, I think you should go Bale and Harry Kane, because if Kane bangs, you know, if Kane has to score some points, I think Bale has to be involved in that. Will Maja play? Says Fadzali, I don't see any reason why Maja wouldn't play. Let me just open for you and show you his playing time. Josh Maja is his name. I hope I'm right. There you go, Josh Maja. See, he's been playing all the games ever since he's started. You know, in the team, he scored a couple of goals, and you know, he's like 72, 90, 90, 90. He was taken off at 66 minutes against Liverpool, and then he didn't play against City. But I feel he is going to play. Bit of a risk, but you know, with Leeds, I think you have to attack them. I mean, Leeds are a bad defensive team, and Leeds do tend to concede a lot of big chances. And with Leeds, I feel you should take a chance. Either go for Lookman or you go for Maja, but do have an attacking player from Fulham. I think it is desirable in this game week, in my opinion. Excuse me, guys, I've been talking too much and I've been saying too little. I need to have a drink of water. Nehal says the English De Bruyne has been locked as my captain. And that means Harry Kane, right? I think that's a good decision, Nihal, and I hope you keep rising. Jose says thoughts on the rumors that Isaac Cox and Hugh Jack potentially joining Arsenal. Pretty good youngsters. Jose, I need to be honest with you, I haven't been keeping in touch with the rumors. I have to check on them because I have no idea who they are. Just, I'll have a look and I'll let you know in the next stream, bro. And that might be a good idea for me to make my next compilation on my alternate channel about these players if they are actually good. Nahal says against City was completely tactical. Yeah, that could be. I mean, you see, guys, Hassan Hutl, he started Alex McCarthy against City because he wanted Fraser Foster. He wanted to protect Fraser Foster. Fraser Foster is the number one goalkeeper now of Southampton, but he started Alex McCarthy because he did not want Fraser Foster's psychology to suffer when he conceded lots of goals. So managers do play these games. So in my opinion, Maja is nailed on, right? FPL Jug says, for how long do you intend to keep the double City defense? How do you intend to? I mean, the thing is, FPL Jug, the thing is, I mean, I'm not sure about on my wildcard whether I'll have double City defense. I'm thinking about keeping only Diaz. That's the one I intend to keep. Nail says, not funny, mate. That means he was making some kind of mischief, which I'm unable to understand because I'm feeling sleepy, by the way. Thank you so much for pointing it out, Nahal. And let's move on. Lingardinho or Kane for captaincy. Ballsy move, but I feel Lingard might be a super differential. Owning him is fantastic. You know, I feel Lingard will score against Arsenal. It's written in the stars, and then he's gonna dance like he usually dances, and I don't like it. But you know, captaining, I'd still go with Kane. Refusion says McCarthy, Johnston, Diaz, me, Dallas, Sofal. So you just got Dallas and Sofal in defense. Son, Salah, Fernandes, Gundogan, Rafinha, Son. All right, and you got Antonio Bamford, Watkins. I mean, you don't have Kane. That's a bit. In my opinion, you should have Kane for this game week. You've got 2 free transfers. I think, yeah, you should try and, I mean, if you don't want to get Kane, I would understand, but I think you should go for Kane. You know, you should sell Salah for somebody like Lingard, and you should get Kane in place of maybe Watkins, or maybe whichever striker you want to take out. I think you should get Kane. Jayaditya says, help me choose between Lingard and Rafinha. If I was you, I would go with Rafinha over Lingard. I think Rafinha has more ways to score FPL points as compared to Lingard. He's just, you know, he takes set pieces, and I don't think he's going to take penalties again after that last one was absolutely such a bad penalty. Matthew Brown says, 8 playing players enough. If they're good enough, then there are enough. Like, for example, if you've got Kane, if you've got Aubameyang, if you've got somebody like Bale, Lingard, Antonio, I mean, Rafinha, the heavy hitters, I mean, the ones which we think everybody's owns, and, you know, they're going to score the points. I think 8 can be good enough. Opposite Lock says, I'm feeling brave. Should I captain Watkins? Opposite Lock, what do you see in Watkins that gives you confidence? I mean, when I see Watkins play, I mean, in my opinion, he's the one who would miss an open goal. When the keeper is gone to take a stroll or having a drink of water, Watkins can miss an open goal. That is what I think about Ollie Watkins, honestly. I wouldn't. Even if you were feeling brave, I still wouldn't captain Watkins. Lingard, maybe. Rafinha, possibly. Watkins, I wouldn't go there. Pereira and Son out for Cresswell and Bale. I mean, Son to Bale is enough in my opinion. I mean, if you want to go Pereira and Son, it's up to you, Caspiano. I mean, the thing is, it depends upon what's the structure of your team. Do you have Lingard? Do you have Antonio? That is what is going to help us decide. Aditya says, is Dunk worth the extra price? I think he is worth the extra price, my friend. I think he's got you know, an attacking threat from set pieces which the others don't. So I think, yes, Dunk is worth the extra price. What do you think about Lingard? I think it's a fantastic option. if I hadn't, been trigger happy and brought in Aubameyang and Bale, I would like to go for Lingard. But since I already had Sofal and Antonio, I decided against Lingard. But I think he's a good option, honestly. Salam says, "Is this your lineup?" It is, my friend, and it is final. "I'm captaining Pascal Gross," says Jayaditya. "Good luck to you, my friend." I wouldn't, but you decided it. You're going with your gut, and I respect that. So good luck to you. Okay, so Auba or Lingard, opposite lock. You have to decide that yourself, because by logic, I'm here to give opinions based on neutral logic, and when you have to take a punt, you have to make a decision, and you let us know who you are punting on, and I'll give you a shout out. Refusion says, can you change to your team? Oopsie. You see, this is what happens when I start talking too much. I just went to see some fixtures, and I just stuck on there. So this is my final team, by the way, guys. Apologies for that. Lock and load, everyone, guys. We've got the shout out from Smelly Wab. He always tells us when there's like 10 minutes left, he says lock and load. That means you should all go to your teams. We've discussed a lot about the players. There are not many options. There are just going to be 4 games this game week. So I'd suggest you all to lock your teams and, fix your captaincies and Zen, guys. That's the most important thing. At the end of this stream, Zen. It's like inner peace, the Kung Fu Panda style. Opposite lock says dunk. Absolutely bonkers. You have to make that decision yourself, and you have to tell me. I am not going to help you, because it's all about instinct, and instinct should be personal. Aditya says, do you have any updates on Dan Burn? I think, I did see some updates on Twitter from Ben Dennery. He says Dan Burn could be fit, but I can't categorically say, but from what I have in my mind about what I read, I think Dan Burn has slight chance of playing. Sid says, what are your plans with the City Boys, given this still play all competitions and pep rollout of 7-8 changes per game? Yeah, with the City Boys, I think I'm going to keep Diaz. I think Diaz is nailed on, and he's going to stay nailed on, in my opinion. With Stones, I think I'm going to have to move him on, and I think I'll possibly move on Gundogan as well. It depends on how many games Gundogan plays, but I think I'll move him on and get somebody like KDB, because I think KDB is going to be nailed on. Let's see what happens. Shopman says -4 to bring in Cresswell for Cancelo. Then I got Cresswell, Lingard and Antonio. Yeah, that is the reason I was a little bit against bringing in Lingard for my own team, because I felt 3 players against Arsenal is a bit much, But Cresswell is a different ball game, because he's on set pieces, he's on free kicks, so I wouldn't be against it, but I don't think it's the most important one. When are you using your wildcard, says Fudzli. Fudzli, I haven't made up my mind whether I'm going to use it in 30 or 31. It also depends on the type of game week that I have. Nehal says, do you think Son is surely out for this game week? I still feel something is up with it. My friend, that is the problem. That is the reason I didn't sell Son for Bale. I sold Salah for Aubameyang and Harvey Barnes for Bale, because with Jose, you just don't know what's up with him. He's out there to save his job. He's in lots of pressure. They played 120 minutes in the Europa League. They lost 3-0 to a smaller team, if I may say so. And I think Jose Mourinho is in a lot of pressure. And if Son has a chance to play, I think he still could play him. And that is, I'm just giving it an outside chance, just in case. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. We already know he is not going to play, right? Alisi says, hi Wiz, I just joined. You're welcome, my friend. And I hope your team is final. Rohit says, is Toby a good option? I think he's a nailed-on defender. He doesn't get many attacking returns, but you don't get Toby Alderweireld for his attacking returns. You get him because he is nailed on. Locked. 5 minutes until time's up, pants down. Good luck, everyone. I go and eat now. Good luck, my friend, and bon appetit to you. Opposite lock says, best of luck, buddy. I've gone on Captain Auba. Good luck to you, my friend, and I wish you all the best. I don't want to say whether it's good or bad. I just want to wish you all the best for what you've done, and I hope it works out for you. Antonio or Lingard? Oh, Ajay, this is a tough one, bro. Guys, give him some options. I mean, Ajay, honestly, I'd say if I had the option, I would go with Lingard over Antonio for this game week, you know? But that is just me. Do not be confused right at the end. Go check out some teams on Twitter, as I told you earlier. I think some of the really good managers are also using their free hit, but don't get confused at the last minute. You've made your decisions. I think you should stick by them. You know, at last minute decisions never help anybody. Thomas says, should I keep or sell Son for Bale? I mean, if you can sell somebody else for Bale and keep Son, that's fine. If you want to sell Son for Bale, I'm not against that. Honestly. Good luck, everyone, says Nehal. Good luck to you too, Nehal. Guys, 3 minutes are left. I'm going to refresh my team for you so that you know that this is my final team. And since the stream is almost about to be over, I would like to tell you that I have had a really, really hard day and I've been really tired, so you could hear the slur in my voice because I am absolutely bent. But I had to do this stream, guys. You know, a promise is a promise, and when I promise I'm gonna do a stream, I come here and I do a stream. Doesn't matter how tired I am. Khaleesi says, Wiz, Lookman captain. I mean, Khaleesi, do you think he's the best option? I'm not sure. You know, I'm not sure what your rank is. Not sure what you're expecting from this game week, right? If you want to take a punt, you can. I mean, Leeds are not the best defensive team. They will concede a goal. They can concede a goal. Is he the best option? No. Is he a good option? He can be. Can be. Differential captain, Maja or Trossard? Trossard for me. I'm captaining Dallas, says Caspiano. That's a good shout. Good luck to you, Caspiano. I'm happy you're going with your gut. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm not going to make you change your decision at the 12th hour. So good luck to you with your decisions, everyone. Smelly Wab says, many thanks for the stream, Wiz. You're welcome, Wab. I mean, the pleasure is all mine. Honestly, I just enjoy so much coming here talking to you guys. I wish I could do more FPL content, but you know, I'm kind of stuck in this. I'm kind of stuck in this loop, guys. I want this channel to succeed so I can devote more time to it, but unless I devote more time to the channel, how is it going to succeed? I'm in a catch-22 and a really bad one. I just don't know how to get out of this rut. Khaleesi says, thanks, Wiz. You're welcome, Khaleesi. Honestly, I hope you have a great game week. I'd like to see your team, Khaleesi. You haven't told us your team, so I'd love to see your team. Nick says, your channel should be bigger. You're such a nice guy and know your stuff. Thank you so much, Nick. All I can say is I work hard, my friend, and I work hard and I try to give you a fair perspective on things, you know. I just don't come here without preparation. I mean, I watch the games when I can. I watch the highlights and I read the articles and stuff, so so that I can give you a wholesome picture of how I feel and what I feel about things. Sid says, thanks for your time and suggestions. Good night, my friend. Good night, Sid, and I hope you have a great game week. Aditya says, good luck, everyone. Good luck to you too, my friend. So guys, the deadline is over, and this game week, I hope it turns out to be a good one, and for the sake of everyone and for the sake of sanity, guys, I honestly feel that this game week doesn't hurt anyone too much, or the score stays fairly average. I'd say an overall average of 45 to 50 points would be much appreciated. We don't want like a couple of differentials to bang and like the others absolutely flopping. I'd say I'm hoping for just an average game week, and that would be best for everyone, especially those who are free hitting and those of us who are just like doing with what we have. So that's all we can hope for. Someone says, how is my favorite content creator? Thank you so much for being here, Soman, and I'm all good, bro. I'm a bit tired, I won't lie to you, but I'm good. Nehal says Zen, and Zen it is, guys. Ajay says, I'm going with Lingard because he's in my playing 11 since last few days, and best of luck. I agree with that decision. I would also have picked Lingard over Antonio. So I'm happy that you went with that decision. Someone says, missed your last week's stream. It was great to see you today. Someone, actually, I did not do a stream last week. I was out on a holiday. I just posted my team on Twitter and on YouTube. This was the first stream that I missed in Game Week 28 because I was out with my family and friends, just chilling a bit. It was a beautiful place, by the way, and I was happy to be there. But I did miss you guys, I won't lie. Nehal says, I think it's going to be 25 to 30 points. I think it's going to be more than that a bit because, it depends. Actually, it depends a lot on the Tottenham game because I think there's a lot of players owned in that game. Everybody owns like 2 Aston Villa players, 2 or 3 Spurs players. So I think it depends a lot on the Aston Villa game, and I think it also depends a bit on the West Ham United game as well. But let's see how it goes. Nishal says, hey Wiz, love from Nepal. Maybe your next vacation place. Nepal is a beautiful place. I'd love to come there one day, my friend. And I wish I can make it to Nepal, bro. Lots of love to you as well. Ajay says top 100 is still target for me, so let's try to get inside this. Ajay, you are gonna get there, bro. Try your best. Just remember, overthinking can sometimes hurt us. So play like you've played. You're the one who's got to like top 1k. There's no reason why you can't go into the top 100. Play your percentages right and you shall be there, bro. Maja punt is very fun to see. That is true. I mean, I would have loved to taken a punt on somebody like Maja on my wildcard. If I was on my wildcard, I would take a punt on somebody like Lukman, somebody like Maja. Definitely would have taken a punt on them. So guys, I think we've had a fairly healthy, solid stream tonight, and since I've been very tired, I don't think I'm gonna be able to stay until the team news is out. So I guess I'm just going to have to interact with you guys on Twitter. So if you are on Twitter, don't forget to follow me at WizFPL. If I'm awake and watching the game, I'm definitely going to tweet. If you don't see a tweet from me, you should know that I'm definitely fast asleep. Anyways, guys, so on this note, I'd like to end this deadline stream of Game Week 29. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, I'm gonna be on my wildcard maybe in Game Week 30 or in Game Week 31. So there's gonna be a midweek video from me, and I'm gonna talk about my wildcard. And remember, there's an international break coming after Game Week 29, so we all get some breathing space and we all get some time for thinking about FPL a little bit more. So I'm gonna see you with more content, depending upon how Game Week 29 goes. I hope it makes us all really happy. So all of you take care. Oh, there's Peter. Peter, I'm seeing you. I was just about to go off and I see your name, so I welcome you here, and I hope next time, Peter, you come to the stream when I'm not about to leave. But right now I'm totally out of elixir and my alchemy is not working anymore and I have to go. Hello Todd, and I hope you have a great game week. Take care of yourself. So thank you so much everyone for being here on this Game Week 29 deadline stream with me, and I hope you all have a great game week. I hope we all have a great game week, and take care of yourselves. Stay safe. FPL Wizard signing out with a beautiful song for you. May you have a great game week, and guys, may the arrows be green. Take care. Bye bye.